Let me tell you something nobody wants to admit. Women don't get respected the same way men do. And I'm not talking about no cute theory. I'm talking about in real life. The rooms that we actually walk into, deals that we negotiate, business calls, the partnerships, the conversations, where we're supposed to be equal in business, but we can feel it deep down that we are not. I've been in rooms with men who had half my experience and twice my confidence, and they got respected on arrival while I had to prove myself. I've watched women undercharge, over-deliver, apologize for literally just existing, while men charge premium and no one even questions it. For years, I actually thought that that's just the way things are. And that as a woman, you simply have to work twice as hard to earn half the respect. But here's what changed actually everything for me. Women don't get respected not because of men, but because of what we've been trained to do as women. We were raised to be nice, flexible, agreeable, soft, polite, pleasant, and those traits destroy respect in the real world of business. So today I'm going to be breaking down exactly why women don't get respected and the 7 rules that turned me from a girl who was constantly talked over to the woman who commands every room she walks into. So let's get right into it. So rule number 1, stop waiting for respect. Decide that you already have it. The first rule of respect is simple. If you are waiting for it, you have already lost it. Because for a long time, I thought respect was something that you earn from other people. Be kind, work hard, don't upset anyone. And eventually they're gonna, of course, respect you because you're doing everything by the books and you're doing everything good. But people don't give you respect. They mirror the respect that you actually have for yourself. When I worked for a company that was 98% men, anytime I shared an idea, it was treated like, oh, cute, okay, cute suggestion from a girl in the room. Meanwhile, I was making the same amount of money as the top male leaders, but my ideas was still filtered through, oh, she's just a girl. Until one day, I stopped asking for permission. Any idea I had, I went ahead and I executed. I didn't even wait and I didn't even present it nicely. I didn't ask, is this okay? What do you guys think of this? Lower my voice and like, for me. No, I just did it and brought back the results, and then all of them were like, okay, well, we're gonna have to do this. And guess what happened? The energy in the whole entire room between us shifted. They realized she's not waiting for us to approve any of her ideas. She already approved it herself. That was the moment that the respect actually began. When you chase respect, you actually lose it. When you embody respect, people actually feel it without you saying literally a word. So stop asking, how do I make them respect me and look up to me? Start asking, do I even respect myself enough to walk away if they don't? I need us to shift that I am not there to audition. I am there to lead. This is the result, and everyone's gonna follow. And most women, we don't lack respect because, oh, maybe we're less. We lack it because we underestimate our actual instinct. So you don't need permission to be powerful. Power is not handed out. Power is taken by the woman who finally decides that I deserve better, and I'm gonna hold it, and this is how things are gonna go, and I'm gonna come back with the results after I figure it out, but I'm not gonna talk to you guys about it. And that's just that. Rule number 2, nice women finish last. So you have to set boundaries like your income depends on it, because it really does. We are trained as women from when we're little. You have to be nice, avoid conflict, don't fight like the boys, you're not a boy. We're trained to make everyone feel comfortable, but at only our own expense. But in business, nice doesn't get respected. Nice get used, abused, and walked all over. Especially if you're too nice, that is literally why you're not making the money that you want. I've always been empathetic, like that's just me. So empathetic that when I had employees that I did not even want to bother them for them to do the tasks that they have to do. So I felt like if I asked them to do something, I'm bothering them. Imagine paying someone and still being afraid to ask them to do their job. I had an assistant I was paying over $3,000 a month, and whenever I needed something, and she was nice, by the way, was not doing anything wrong. But instead of asking, I would just spend hours figuring it out so I don't just bother her and add more things to her task list or inconvenience her. One day, a mentor told me something that changed my life. Everything except your brain and your eyes, you delegate. So from that moment, every task, every detail, every minute spent on anything except the vision for my life and for my business cost me money, and that's why I have to delegate. Because every single time you actually say yes when you actually want to say no, you also lose respect for yourself. And we talked about that in the previous point. So every time you avoid setting a boundary, you signal that you don't even value yourself or your own time. So boundaries are what make you powerful. If you're nice, you become replaceable. I need us to understand that no is a complete sentence. It's okay to say no and not even say anything after. If they think you're difficult for protecting your time, that's just not your client. That is someone that is just there to bother you. High value women, they're not the nicest women. They are the clearest women. There's no negotiation. This is how things are, and that's that. So boundaries are not walls, they're actually price tags. Moving forward, what I need us to start doing, you need to delegate and stop feeling bad for asking people for things, because again, programming as a woman, that's how we're raised. Ask people for help when you need. Ask people to do things if you pay them. Set the boundaries. No is a full sentence, and that is the second rule to respect. Rule number 3, stop explaining yourself. Your actions should speak. Women, we lose so much power because we over-explain. We justify everything. I want to tell you why my price is my price. I want to tell you why the decisions, why I did this. Let me explain to you and give you a full story on my boundary, my time, my success. Even when I say no, I need to give you a full-on explanation. And no. I remember when I launched my $25,000 high-ticket program, I used to over-explain why I priced it that much, right? And why it was worth it. I would write paragraphs, justify the value, prove. And I would tell them like, it's $25,000 for, 2 months of working with us, but we're teaching you ideally how to make $25,000 in a day. So that's like a steal. But here's what I learned. If I have to explain the value to you, you're just not my client. Someone who is in business and he's business savvy, they already know that viral brand is worth millions of dollars. So I made a decision. No more over-explaining. No more long paragraphs. No more justifying the standard. I say less and I say it once. And I remember when I ended up a partnership with some people I used to work with, I did not even explain that either. No essays, no emotional goodbye speech. Just, this is what's best for us, and I just moved on. I walked away. Less talk, more action. Find a replacement. And that's the thing about a powerful woman. They don't over-explain their decisions. We just execute our decisions. So whatever you decide, sip it. Don't talk about it so much. Go and do it. Explaining wastes time and drains energy, and it almost invites negotiation that you should not be dealing with. So say less, move more, and let the results talk. Rule number 4, respect is taught through consequences, not conversations. Women, we communicate, we talk, we explain. We think if I talk enough, someone is gonna change. But people don't change of communication. They change because of consequences. I once had an employee who questioned everything I said. Every instruction was followed with, but why? I told him multiple times, I don't like explaining myself. My decisions are final. And nothing changed. You know what changed it? Firing them. That was the only thing that actually changed it. Conversations did not work. Consequences did. Same thing with business partnerships. I have ended partnerships not because I wanted to, but because behavior showed me there was nothing left to actually talk about. And the same applies to even women in relationships. A lot of women, we try to communicate. Let me tell him one more time what I want. Let me explain. Maybe he's gonna change after he cheated, disrespected, minimized, lied, did every single thing wrong that's in the books. Talk won't change a man. Leaving will. Stop trying to fix the employee, just change the employee. One consequence teaches more than 1,000 conversations. And respect isn't about how beautifully you communicate. Respect is about how ruthlessly you enforce your standard that they were aware of. Rule number 5, the people you tolerate determine your worth. You cannot become the woman that you're meant to be while staying around people who treat you like the woman that you used to be. While I lived in Canada, I had amazing people around me, kind, warm, familiar, but they saw everything I did as you're doing too much. They never understood my ambition. They probably judged every single decision. They questioned my vision, not because they were just bad people, but because my dreams actually threatened how comfortable they actually were in their life. When you're constantly around people who think small, you start shrinking your big vision, your big life to stay just relatable. Leaving Canada for the past year and a half have changed my life. My income 10x, my confidence exploded, my whole world expanded because I finally left the environment that kept me doubting every single decision. Sometimes you think you have low self-esteem, but it's actually you're just in the wrong environment that enforces that doubt, that low self-esteem. So you're not insecure, you're just surrounded by people who see you through an outdated version of you, and it feels like everything you do is very uncomfortable because all eyes are on you. So the shift is simple. Ask yourself, do I like who I am when I am around them? If the answer is no, they are so expensive and you have to distance yourself. I don't care how long you've known them. Leaving is not betrayal. Leaving is you having an evolution to get to your goals. And rule number 6, control your emotions or they're gonna control your respect. Women are emotional. That's just the fact. And it's not a weakness. But losing emotional control in moments of power, that destroys respect immediately. I have been in meetings where I wanted to yell, cry, defend, maybe punch someone, cuss someone out. Especially one meeting where a group of people, they told me they want to end the deal that was paying us a lot of money. Everything in me wanted to react, but instead I smiled, I stood up, and I said, this is the best news I've ever heard in a very long time. Thank you for letting us know, and it was pleasure working with you guys. I left with grace. That moment was one of the most powerful feelings I've ever felt, because they were waiting for a reaction. They wanted me to negotiate. They wanted me to lower my value, to accept less from them. Now, same thing happened when a man in my old business team tried to destroy my reputation. He lied, manipulated, turned hundreds of people against me. I could have screamed, I could have defended myself and say, no, they're spreading false rumors. And I could have fought. Instead, I said, I wish you guys the best in your new business. Fast forward years later, I look back at them, guys. All of these people are still working a job that they hate, and I'm building a multi-million-dollar business. So emotional control is not suppressing your emotions. It's just about not performing them. And the woman who can feel everything and still move strategically, she is the one that is unstoppable. And that brings me to rule number 7. High-value women, they don't argue, they exit. Arguing for respect is proof that you don't actually have it. One of my strongest memories of this was in a boardroom full of successful men. They were all trying to tell me that my business was not real because it was online and theirs was brick and mortar, and that's how a real business is. I could have argued, I could have fought, I could have proven every point, defended, argued, but instead I just stood up and left. No debate, no defending, no explaining, and I went on to just make more money than every single man in that room. And success is not the best revenge. Success is the only revenge. So exiting is a power move. It says, I'm not available for a conversation beneath my vision. High-value women, they don't raise their voices. They raise their standards. And when your standards are so high, the arguments just all disappear. Being nice will not get you respected. Setting boundaries will. Execution will. Silence will. Self-respect will. Respect is not about being the kindest woman in the room. It's about being the woman who values herself so deeply that disrespect cannot survive near her. So I need us to stop being nice to people who haven't earned access to you. Stop explaining yourself to people who don't listen. Stop tolerating behavior that shrinks you. And the moment you decide you're done accepting less, everything is actually gonna change. Not because they suddenly respect you, but because you finally respect yourself enough to walk away when they don't. And that is the shift.